It's Shootout, brought to you by the new Nissan Rogue, redesigned, redefined. Now, Guardiola and Klopp, two greats, but who's had the biggest impact since coming to England? What another fine question for you, Greg Brady.
I give a slight edge to Pep Guardiola. And there's a couple distinct reasons why. I know exactly what's going to get pushed back at me and what he hasn't won and what the club hasn't won and what no manager before Pep hasn't won at the particular club in the last 12 years since they've had the big spending budget. But nonetheless, I think Pep's accomplished just a touch more, and I can lay out why. What about you?
But yeah, of course, that's what I'm going to say to you with Pep Guardiola. If you are splitting hairs, and also, yes, he's delivered those Premier League titles. Yes, he's back to back, which we know is so difficult, and that's what Liverpool are finding this season. But he came to Manchester City with that club and that project very much up and running. They'd already run the league, of course, that Aguero day with Roberto Mancini, and Manuel Pellegrini managed to follow it on as well. So let's not beat around the bush. Look at the financial support that he has had, and Jurgen Klopp hasn't had that. And Jurgen Klopp didn't arrive at a club with a winning mentality, with titles under their belt in recent times. He arrived at a club absolutely longing for a Premier League title, aching for a Premier League title. And not only that, when he delivered it, as we've spoken about on the show before, he came back from the most unbelievable season that in any other Premier League season would have delivered the title, only to miss out on the final day to that Manchester City side. So in terms of accomplishments, that for me, to end that 30-year wait for Liverpool in the fashion they did, having missed out on the final day of the previous season to City, and the way he built it from coming to England, I think there was only two players from his original team left from the ones that won the medal eventually in the Premier League, was truly quite remarkable. Yes, he had big signings in there, but he didn't have an awful lot. And when he spent money, Jurgen Klopp, he's been under pressure to get it right. And boy, the two that stand out, Alisson and Van Dijk, did he get it right, Greg?
Here's what I'd say about Pep, though. I think there's a stark distinction in win percentage in the Premier League. There just is. Pep's 72.5% in 265 matches. Klopp's 59.6% in 297 matches. That's a big distinction. Pep has an FA Cup title. Klopp does not, and he won't get one, obviously, this year. Now, he's had an extra season to do that. Pep's got 3 League Cups. Maybe makes it 4 this year if they beat Spurs in a few weeks' time. Klopp doesn't have this. And third, first, second. Never dropped out of the top 3. Liverpool, obviously, first last year, second the year before, but 2 fourth places with Klopp, where he was building something. They were gaining that consistency and that, again, that infrastructure that's the envy of a lot of other clubs. So, look, it's a difficult pie to slice. So I think it's Klopp. I think it's Klopp just behind Pep Guardiola. But you've nailed it as usual. Europe is the prize. Europe's that glittering prize that they have to accomplish. They have to even get to a final, which they haven't done, which their supporters were sure they would see at some point in the last decade, and they've yet to see yet.
And I just think, like I say, we're splitting hairs or slicing in the pie, as you beautifully put it there with your Canadian twang, is that Europe, you do get judged as well as domestically. I know he's got more Premier Leagues, but you do get judged on Europe. And the financial support that Pep Guardiola has had, we know with his old pals from Barcelona there in charge of Manchester City, that not only was he brought to expand the style of football and deliver the Premier League again, it was the Champions League. Jurgen Klopp has taken Liverpool to 3 European finals in his time at Liverpool as well. Losing 2 of them would have been very easy to lose his way. And again, he's responded from that defeat in Real Madrid in the Champions League final, that stunning goal from Gareth Bale, the Karius episode as well, to rebuild and bring another goalkeeper in and then deliver the Champions League, having just lost out on the Premier League. So I do think those domestic trophies that Pep is clearly ahead of and he's taken very seriously, I do think he'd swap a couple at least of those to lift the Champions League like Jurgen Klopp has.
Europe means everything to City supporters right now, as well as they've played domestically, as well as they're on track for domestic titles. You're right. It's getting to the point you'd swap a bunch of them out for European success, especially this season, because everybody is on that track, and the Premier League's been so wacky, so up and down.
Indeed. Just one little caveat. Let's not forget Jurgen Klopp in Germany got to a Champions League final. Pep Guardiola didn't. But we are splitting hairs. And you will see their Champions League games, of course, on DAZN. But it's fascinating, isn't it, when Pep pits his wits against Jurgen. That is happening this Sunday for you, only on DAZN.